Give us your perfect first date.
First of all, my man needs to make at least 7 figures.
How much money should your guy make?
Over $500,000.
Where are the real men at? I'm sick of it.
That's why I don't like men who know their worth. Like, I hate y'all.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women. That it's better to be single, guys.
There's talk about how men are not obsessed with women anymore.
Said that you effed a whole platoon.
Oh, yeah.
How many dudes did you sleep with?
Probably at that time, like 20.
The whole platoon?
Yeah, it was a lot.
What?
When I was 16, I got 3 trains ran on me in 1 week.
Every once in a while, I come out here on these internet streets and I just get surprised at the content that I am suggested. And that surprise is the content that I want to go over within the confines of this video. Now, this woman accurately describes exactly why so many men have been avoiding getting into relationships with modern women today. And she created this video as a response to the male loneliness epidemic, which I refer to as the male solitude epidemic, right? The word solitude meaning that the men are choosing to be alone. They're choosing to be single. They're choosing situationships outside of taking a woman seriously in their 20s and their 30s, as opposed to loneliness denotes that it's not their choice. Anyway, she did a wonderful job of describing what is going on in our environment. So let's dissect and let's get active. Without further ado.
If you're a single girl out here in these streets and you're thinking, am I crazy? Or are these guys like not even wanting to date and hook up, let alone get married?
Am I the problem?
Are we why these men don't want to get married? I have good news and bad news. The good news is you're not crazy. The bad news is it's worse than you thought. The very minuscule amount of kingpin level good men, the ones that are actually husband material, are almost certainly already married, about to be, or here's your very grim reality check, rotting away to near extinction.
There goes our last mail.
Oh my God, I hate Alex Clark. She's so dramatic.
Am I?
Is it me? Am I the drama? I don't think I'm the drama. Maybe I am.
Turns out, the large majority of men 18 to 30 years old are single by choice. You're not crazy after all. Don't believe me? A new Pew Research study found that 63% of men don't want to pursue any sort of relationship with women. That means serious or casual. They literally feel no motivation to leave their house. Period. You know things are bad when guys think a booty call is too much work.
The idea of the work necessary for a booty call is too much work is due to the democratization of the vagina. It's so easy nowadays to take advantage of this sexual liberation environment. It's like, well, why would I want to settle down with one when my testosterone is burning inside of me and it's telling me to seed and plant the earth? And I'm going to do so with a condom on, so I don't actually do that and end up paying child support. But nevertheless, she going to let me go deep inside relatively easy. Yeah, of course. Why would I settle for one right now, baby? And on top of that, there's so many other options for quick and easy blast of dopamine, right? For entertainment, whether it be video games or porn. And I'm not saying that the overconsumption of these things are more beneficial, but when you have all of these other options out there as opposed to finding a healthy relationship, right? Like, it's like, you can have all of the good food available, right? But if the Skittles, the Starbursts, the Jolly Ranchers are cheaper, bigger dopamine hits, some people will rationalize junk food even though it is inevitably not that good for them, especially when the standards to consume the fruit is getting higher and higher by the day, and it's not standards based in reality, they're standards based in damn delusion.
The evidence points to some very specific problems.
Okay.
I've seen multiple conservative commentators speculate about what they think is the root of this shift, and no surprise, they're wrong. Let me tell you something about 99% of female commentators on the right who talk about dating, culture, and relationships. Hardly any of them have had significant real-world experience with dating, culture, and relationships. They think they're too highbrow for dating apps.
You're disgusting, and I hate you.
They marry the first or second guy they've made eye contact with, and their understanding on what it's actually like out here is, hate to say it, no I don't, derived from trad wife Twitter accounts secretly run by gay men trying to catfish straight ones. I know why men have lost all incentive to pursue any type of companionship with anyone with a heartbeat. And I think we should all be very perturbed about what this means for future generations. And no, the answer is a lot more layered than just porn is bad. Today, women are smarter, we're graduating college at higher rates than guys, and I know women don't like to admit it, but we are, by and large, making more money.
I disagree with smarter, which denotes intelligence. If you want to say more educated, I think that'd be a little bit more accurate.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm not poor. We spent half a century telling men that the future was female and that women allegedly didn't need to rely on men for anything.
We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death. We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that.
Naturally, men started to harbor this sense of hopelessness where it felt like, I'm never going to be able to meet women's increasingly high standards and expectations anyway. So the first shoe to drop was men thinking it's acceptable to get complacent. If women are doing all this work, why should I? Now, for a little while, that was fun for the men because we're climbing the ladder ourselves. We're screaming, we can do bad all by myself.
You have a problem with that?
No, I just my grandmother's 90th birthday, so I was gonna go home and it's fine, I'll cancel.
So the men are like, okay, bet. They begin to lose that motivation to achieve and be a provider for a purpose bigger than themselves.
I think men, by and large, still want to be that for their family, right? Masculine men. They want to be providers. They want to be protectors. What has changed is women's standards and requirements, the degree of how high that they are for men, while also their current modern lifestyles make them less valuable than generations before for long-term relationship, if not marriage. In business terms, that's increasing the price of the product while decreasing the value of the product. With that inverse relationship in business, you will lose customers, and also in the dating marketplace, women will lose customers. And that's how men are rationalizing situationships or just being to themselves, as opposed to dealing with these new products.
Why are you single? I have kind of given up on trying to put in the effort.
A man's instinct to be a hero and to achieve is tied directly to how men show their love. Since the beginning of time, men have hunted and women were the gatherers and helpers. We switched this up as women and insisted that we can hunt instead, leaving men feeling confused and purposeless. In an act that drives men further into disorientation, women have chosen to blur the line between masculine and feminine energies. Recognizing the different roles men and women were biologically hardwired to play does not mean that women must surrender our equality. It just means that men are motivated by the opportunity to show themselves as competitive, daring, adventurous, courageous.
They call all of that nowadays toxic masculinity. Go figure.
In achieving. But we have made them feel like these traits are no longer valued because women have chosen to demonstrate those traits ourselves. Instead, women should be secure enough to both praise men for these traits while knowing how to soften into our true feminine essence, which creates balance and peace needed for a healthy relationship. Women should embrace our traditionally feminine traits that can perfectly complement those of men. Nurturance, sensitivity, sweetness, supportiveness, gentleness, warmth, expressiveness, empathy, affection, and tenderness. I'd like to think that I'm a fair and nuanced person. I believe that I am capable of seeing both sides in pretty much anything. And another cultural thorn that women need to take some responsibility for is that we've decided as a gender that personal development is apparently a non-issue. Most of us have a God complex that is being fueled by toxic therapy culture, which is ironically making us worse, not better. Young women have been brainwashed into thinking that we're perfect exactly the way we are, no matter how fat, lazy, mentally ill that could be.
You'll feel it soon.
Crazy.
I won't. I told you, okay? Endorphins don't work on me. And anyone who's ever promised me a runner's high is full of
It has propelled the sin of self-obsession and created a barrier preventing us from considering any other possibility other than they want to hurt me, they're out to get me. Anyone that attempts to hold us to a higher standard is toxic and emotionally abusive.
You're not my supervisor!
The glorification of hyper-selfishness propagandized us into the belief that every last one of us is a 9 or 10.
I love the words that she's utilizing to describe how we have so many delusional women walking around that believe that they are here and will talk shit. I just watched a Pop the Balloon episode not too long ago, and it's like listening to this woman talk to this man, and she's legit maybe a 2.5 in the face.
First, you're short, and I'm a tall girl. I like 6 foot and up. Okay. 2, I don't do dreads. And then you're an electrician. I'm thinking about like businessman, doctor, lawyer, because I'm trying to like find a man who could provide for my kids and provide for me. You know what I'm saying? And I just ain't from Alabama. I heard things about Alabama. I'm from New York, so no thank you.
Now, whether or not you're a 2.5 or a 10, you shouldn't be talking to somebody like that. But still, she has a God complex. She thinks that she's somewhere that she's not. And for some reason, that gives her leverage to be able to act like an asshole. And behavior like that also illustrates why chivalry is dead. Think about all of the words that she had up on the screen to describe good feminine behavior versus what we just saw in that clip. Those behaviors are of someone that is worthy of protection, but who we just watched in that clip was not.
Ask the ladies to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10.
10. I'd say I'm a 10. 10. 10.
Don't you guys think it's a bit delusional to rate yourself as a 10?
Well,
So y'all are perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, bruv, come on.
Every girl is a 10. I don't.
Every woman's a 10? Is every guy a 10?
No. Absolutely not.
Hold on, whoa.
The lie is so pervasive that we not only lie to ourselves, we lie to each other.
You are physically flawless.
Because of all this lying, we only entertain interest from men who are 9s or 10s. But realistically, we're likely only 6s and 7s ourselves. And ladies, you know I'm right.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna rate you guys, but none of you are a 10.
Women are operating in such a high level of delusion that we'll refuse to date our own level or lower while simultaneously strong-arming men into dating down, something that we're not even willing to do ourselves.
If you want a boyfriend, you have to drop your standard. You have to settle to be in a relationship. You have to settle for something less.
I don't think it's settling though, because what's going on is you have average women that don't want to date average men.
We project and accuse men of being superficial, but modern women are the most superficial beings to ever exist.
Men are so superficial.
Would you date a guy that's shorter than you?
Absolutely not.
What has happened is women have cut out 98% of the potential dating pool and convinced themselves that they're cool sharing the top 2% of men because we'd rather perpetually be in the talking stage with a 10 than having a meaningful, fulfilling, and monogamous relationship with a 7.
If you can't accurately assess, here's how attractive I actually am, you're gonna keep chasing after men that they're going to have an accurate assessment of what you look like, and they're gonna say, I'll hook up with this girl, I'm never gonna commit to her, I'll keep her along and keep her, I'll never give her commitment.
According to Tinder data, while men swipe right on 40% of women on average, this number is only 7% for women. No wonder men feel like dating is completely pointless. For the guys left barely hanging on, it feels nothing short of fatalistic. If a guy tries to embrace his masculinity and show chivalry, it's deemed toxic at best, sexual harassment at worst.
Excuse me, ma'am. I've been in a terrible car accident. My legs are pinned under the car, and I can't reach to get my phone. Can you please get some help?
Are you serious? I have a boyfriend.
And it gets bleaker because men today are financially incentivized to not pursue marriage.
Are you single?
Yeah.
I'm actually yes. Why are you single? Because it's expensive.
But he's right.
Women are 70% more likely to initiate divorce, according to the American Sociological Association. Men know if they choose the wrong woman, it will end in divorce. And the research shows that she will be the one to benefit, not him. While both spouses lose, men typically suffer a larger hit because of child support and alimony. Men are looking at this and weighing the risks. And the unfortunate reality for women is that instead of seeing these statistics and thinking, okay, true love in a family is a pro that outweighs the con, they opt out of the equation entirely. Men are more willing to put up with loneliness because in their mind, they'll still get to keep their money and dignity. Plus, thanks to the pandemic, they have learned that they can also get all of their sexual and self-esteem needs met without leaving their couch.
Gary!
Confidence is boosted through comments, likes, and retweets on social media. Sexual needs are met through pornography. Why would men feel motivated to go to bars, for example, to spend their money on drinks for women who may or may not even be interested?
Right. There's a lot of bars in New York City.
You go up to someone in a bar, they're like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You can cut to the chase with and many men took advantage of the opportunity in lockdown. Fast forward 2 years later, the habit has been formed and the men are drastically different. The false identity of women and the increasing apathy of men, to say the least, is literally adding up to human extinction at this point. Gen Z and young millennials are just not getting married. We are living through a serious crisis. The eligible bachelors are buying pretend land in the metaverse and subscribing to the OnlyFans of the girl next door. They aren't building a house or a life beyond the digital landscape because we've done a horrible job as women making commitment and marriage look like a worthwhile risk. Unfortunately, I don't have a feel-good solution for you. I personally think Gen Z and younger millennial men may be a lost cause, but something we can do is instill better self-worth in the men of Gen Alpha. That's the generation that comes after Gen Z. Because if not, this will be the end. We are already at 63% of men under 30 who have just left the dating market. If we don't change course now, that statistic will reach 100% in no time. If you think I'm off base at all, I am open to criticism. Send this video to the young men in your life and ask them if anything I said is untrue. Ladies, let's commit to letting men be men.
I'm gonna leave a link to her video down in the description box down below. Fantastic video, right? Like, not everything that she said I agree with in the way that she said it, but I think that she got way more right than of the things that I nitpicked that she got wrong. The higher requirements while lowering their own value, while delusionally thinking that they're still of a 8, 9, or 10 value, while also saying that the natural inclinations of a man are toxic. I mean, it's like, where did we think that this was going to go? And the numbers just speak for themselves. Shit, there's more women having kids 40 plus, only 25% of which is going to receive a wedding ring, and that number is going down. You got men rationalizing family life because they look at the family court system and what can happen if a divorce came their way. Now, there's two schools of thought. I guess I'm more of a macro perspective, right? A general perspective. And it's either, hey, the men should step up, recognize kind of what's happening with the women, but still step up anyway. Or the other school of thought is that, well, the women should start to make some of these changes so that the men can see them as better options, right? Like, stop engaging in hookup culture, become accountable, be more realistic with yourself so that men can find them much more of worthy options and can do less rationalization when it comes to all of these potential negative impacts. And I think that the true answer to this is that men should continue to stand on business and to continue to talk about our standards, our requirements, the things that is necessary for us to feel valued. Because when that value is no longer there, or we're not being utilized from a biological needs perspective, or if we're told or shamed into, accepting bad behavior, bad image, right? Like, it's just not going to work. So I do think that from a man's perspective, there is a maturity piece in there of recognizing the consequences of the short-term gratification while also working on your purpose, enhancing yourself, keeping your body moving and in shape, enhancing your manhood, your masculinity, so that you can have these tried and true standards and requirements, so that when you're ready to let that drawbridge down, when you are, years into your life, you can let it down for a young lady that has been accountable and working on herself within that same fashion. But I think that it starts at the recognition that there is a problem, and as well as creating the burning platforms to disseminate what's happening and, have us discuss and have us all do better. All right, guys. Again, link to this down in the description box down below. I appreciate you guys for coming through and rocking with me here today on this fantastic conversation. And I'll see you soon. Until next time, you two. Peace.
It's time to get active. Gotta subscribe, it's MTR. Hit the like, leave a comment, it's free of charge. Get active, no acting, we men at large. Without further ado, let's set it off. Excuse them who? Reaction, my passion with better views. Critique, sneak a peek into your reviews. So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars.